Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Marc Emert. I represent SAP's customer experience business here in South Africa, Johannesburg. The purpose of today's presentation is to really talk about the experience economy and building an intelligent enterprise. So before I kick off, I wanted to give you a quick overview of my lockdown experience. It's been great. It's been busy. Learned a hell of a lot. They're 2 months old, so it's been a phenomenal lockdown experience. Tiring, but certainly worthwhile. Anyway, let's get on to the business. So the reality is, in the last 15 years, 52% of the Fortune 500 have disappeared. We can all rattle off many names. By 2027, three quarters or 75% of today's S&P will be replaced entirely. It's a scary fact. Okay, 97% of executives believe that giving a better customer experience is key and critical in maintaining a competitive advantage. 80% go as far as to actually believe that they're delivering a superior customer experience. The reality is that only 8% of customers agree. Okay, there's a huge disconnect, and that disconnect is effectively the experience gap. Okay. So living in the experience economy, which we're living in now, is all really about closing that experience gap. Okay, kind of difficult to do because you've got legacy programs which are static, single instance, uni-channel, isolated, and transactional. And to deliver phenomenal experiences in the experience economy, you need to move towards modern programs which are dynamic, intelligent. Key for me is about omni-channel, so cross-channel, embedded, also very important, and personal and conversational. Okay. Coming from SAP, we're very familiar with ERP as being a single source of data, feeding information and populating information into systems of sales and purchasing and manufacturing and supply chain. Okay. The reality is that from an experience management point of view, specifically customer experience, there's a complete lacking in terms of a single source. Okay, so we lack the ability to tie all of the experience data into one single application. And really, that's what experience management is. It's the discipline of combining the operational data and the experience data. Operational data is the O data, and the X data is the experience data, the sentiment data. I'll talk about it shortly. Okay, so there are two sources of data which are critical in closing this experience gap. The first one is the operational data. So think of SAP or think of any back office ERP as your system of record, your source of truth, your operational system, and then combining it with the experience data. So you look at a typical website purchase. Customer logs onto the website and drops off. The operational data is the customer dropping off. The experience data is why has he dropped off. And to provide a phenomenal customer experience and close that experience gap, you need to combine both sources of data. Okay, and the X data can be collected by anyone, product, CX, marketing, HR brand on any channel or any device. So coming back to the key concept of omni-channel, you should have the ability as businesses to connect the experience data or the X data and the O data across all of the channels that your customers interacting: Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, e-commerce, Apple Watches, Alexa, etc. Okay, combining that with the operational data to really close that experience gap. So if you look at a typical journey, and I hate the word typical, but if you look at a customer journey, in terms of online shopping, a customer logs on, he does his research, he adds a product to a basket, he has an issue and inquires for some degree of support via contact center, he receives the order, and he uses the product. Okay, so you have all of that operational data. The big lacking is the experience data. So how was the experience on the website? What is the customer sentiment? Why did the customer drop off whilst hovering over a product? Was it an issue relating to the imagery or not enough information or the price? how is the delivery experience? And really the value proposition is about combining those two sources of data across your end-to-end customer journeys. Okay, so BMW are doing it really, really well. What they're doing is they're using closed loop ticketing. So they're picking up negative sentiment from customers and ingesting that experience data of the negative sentiment. I'm feeling terrible because into systems of record like their CRM, and they're resolving 90% of issues within 5 days. They're seeing a 23-point increase in NPS. Dish, typical telco provider, media provider, what they're doing is, if you look at their customer journey, the customers initiating contact with a call center in terms of ordering the hardware. They're sending out a field technician to come and install it. And what Dish are doing is connecting the experience data throughout the entire end-to-end process, combining it with the operational data. And they're seeing things like a 10-point increase in NPS year on year, $15 million increase right to the bottom line in terms of reduction in customer churn, just by listening to their customers, just by engaging. Chobani Australia, they're a yogurt manufacturer. What they're doing is, prior to launching new flavors, is they're effectively asking their customers around their sentiment. They're not just launching, they're asking customers about their feelings prior. So they're able to innovate a lot quicker, and they're able to reduce the innovation risk and get products to market a lot quicker. Okay. Leading hotels of the world, the very first time you log onto their website, they're collecting information around, what experiences do you want? And they're feeding that information back into a marketing automation system. They're seeing a 50% customer increase, 9-point increase in NPS. Okay. Really, the concept of delivering a phenomenal experience and closing that experience gap in the experience economy is about listening, understanding, and acting. It's collecting the data, having the conversations with the customers throughout the journey and the engagement. It shouldn't be fragmented. It should be omnichannel. Ingesting that data, not requiring the support of things like data scientists, but really powerful analytics capabilities that allow insights to be made, and then taking actions and improvements. Okay. For those of you who are familiar with Qualtrics, there are 2 free offers available for a limited time period. Return to Work Pulse and Frontline Connect. And it's really, again, about the concept of listening, asking, engaging. Are your staff ready to get back into the office? How are they feeling? Okay. You're getting all of the powerful analytics you'd expect. So thank you very, very much. I may have been under 15 minutes, but I'm hoping to have left you with some inspiration. Feel free to contact me on marc.emert@sap.com. It's Marc with a C. Alternatively, contact me on my cell. Thank you very much and have a great day.